Happy Saturday. It's great to see you. Are we ready to discuss some policy this morning? I think we are. I have a little housekeeping business here for you first. Been asked to make an announcement. By the way, my name's David Herford. I'm the policy secretary for the Liberal Party of Canada. Great to see you. Just a couple of housekeeping items on behalf of the convention. Please note the Senior Liberals workshop on club formation will be held this morning in room 507. That's the Senior Liberal workshop on club formation. Will be held this morning in room 507 from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Also today at 10 a.m. in room 109, ensuring safe spaces and ending harassment. That's room 109. Good morning. My name is David Herford. I'm the National Policy Secretary, and I'll be chairing this open Policy Plenary. With me on stage, I am very proud to have with me the co-chair of the Indigenous Peoples Commission. Susie Keys is with me today. Thank you, Susie. You'll be hearing more from Susie in just a moment. The business of this session is to consider 20 policy resolutions, 15 of which will become official policy of the Liberal Party of Canada. I'd like to take a moment now to briefly discuss the policy development process that led to us being here and that has taken place since the last convention in Winnipeg. We have made significant improvements to our policy development process thanks to the feedback of thousands of registered Liberals from across the country. We've realigned the purpose of our party policy process to the overall purpose of our party. And through a policy bylaw that was approved by the LPC board, we are actively promoting continuous engagement, inclusion, and innovation. And as a result of that, registered Liberals have influenced platform proposals without having to spend thousands of dollars or travel hundreds of kilometers traveling to conventions. The process was transparent. It was laid out months in advance. Online engagement has become an integrated element into our policy process. And engagement with the Indigenous Peoples Commission became a requirement for any resolution that had a significant impact on Indigenous peoples. And since our new policy guidelines were released a year ago, provincial and territorial boards and our national caucus and our 4 Liberal Party of Canada commissions have launched engagement activities to develop policies for the Platform Committee to consider for the 2019 election. We asked each sponsor to come up with 6 ideas for the National Platform Committee. We asked them to prioritize 3 of those for this national convention, and they did it. At the November 27, 2017 deadline, we received 79 policy resolutions from across the country. 39 were identified as priorities and put to a national vote. And earlier this year, just in January and February, through an online discussion and vote, registered Liberals across Canada prioritized their 30 favorite policies for us to deliberate and debate at this convention. And I'd like to thank the thousands of registered Liberals who participated in this process. While not all of them are physically here today, you have helped shape our policies. And for the first time, we invited Canadians to participate in this process and comment on the ideas from our grassroots. The 30 resolutions selected in March by registered Liberals through the national online vote were presented to registered attendees yesterday at a series of workshops. Sponsors had more time to present their ideas. Participants had more time for meaningful dialogue, and they did not have to be in the workshop to vote. I hope you all enjoyed the new format. Through innovative digital applications, attendees voted all day to midnight. Everyone had 4 votes to distribute as they saw fit, and many changed their votes up to the deadline. And I'll share a really cool anecdote with you. Last night, I was enjoying the Winnipeg Jets hockey game with a number of our Manitoba delegates, and after the game was over, everyone pulled out their phones and started voting and debating policy. It was terrific. And I'm sure they had a very sober mind. Through that process, 30 resolutions are now 20, and you're going to get a chance to consider them today. But before we get into that, I do want to take a moment to provide a short update on some of the policies that were approved by delegates 2 years ago, last month at the 2016 Winnipeg Convention Plenary. These are important, and it's in our new bylaw we do talk about reporting back, and we've been very active with our National Policy Committee to pursue these. These will also be forwarded to the National Platform Committee for consideration, but our Liberal government is not waiting to act on those resolutions. Many of the ideas you'll be happy to know that we voted on last time are being implemented. And we should all be proud of that, and we should all remember the importance of the process. We are influencing the government's policies. In Winnipeg, our delegates approved 3 resolutions on housing policy. Since then, our Liberal government has delivered over $40 billion for the most comprehensive national housing strategy our country has seen in decades, if not ever. Delegates in Winnipeg wanted increased investment in home and end-of-life care for seniors. And since then, our Liberal government has delivered significant funding agreements with each province and territory to do exactly that. Delegates in Winnipeg supported a national pharmacare plan, and since then, the government has stabilized healthcare budgets and launched an important national discussion on what the details of national pharmacare plan can look like for Canadians, and I know delegates here have some suggestions for them as well. Delegates called for a national water strategy, and since then the government has responded with an historic ocean protection plan and a renewed emphasis on protecting the environment. Delegates wanted the federal government to address the increasing rates of autism in Canadian children and the impact it's having on Canadian families. And since then, the government has started to respond with a landmark report last month and new investments in the 2018 budget, and more will be done. Delegates voted for a resolution condemning all forms of Islamophobia. And since then, our government and caucus responded with courage and conviction and a renewed determination to stamp out hate of all kinds and in all corners of our society. Delegates in Winnipeg wanted new investments in infrastructure and in Indigenous communities. And since then, construction projects have been initiated in every corner of the country, and a new ministry has been created to focus exclusively on improving services to Indigenous people. Delegates wanted more gender parity on corporate boards, and since then, the government has responded with a variety of measures to promote diversity and corporate social responsibility, including significant investments to promote women entrepreneurs in the 2018 budget. And delegates in Winnipeg wanted the government to encourage more youth participation in democracy, and the government is delivering, and our party, I'm happy to say, is responding by keeping convention rates low for youth delegates so they can participate more actively in our party's discussions. This progress is important to consider as we move into our debate today. Our leadership and our caucus are listening to the grassroots of our party. They're demonstrating this through their actions, and I believe Canadians are responding positively to that. While attending the National Convention is no longer the only preoccupation of our party's policy process, it's still a critical element of continuous engagement and prioritization, and thanks to improvements to the new policy bylaw, the resolutions that you prioritize today will become party policy for 8 years. So let's get on with it. I would like to now move into the official part of our program in terms of debate and presentation of resolutions. Susie, I would like to call on you to lead us through this session and provide some opening remarks, and we will start to call on the speakers. Thank you very much.
Anin, bonjour, Jingwak Benojis Dishnikaj, Wabanaki Donjaba, Mikinak Dodem. Bonjour, mon nom est Suzy Keys. Je suis Abénaki, je fais partie de la Confédération Abénaki et ça me fait un grand plaisir de vous accueillir ici dans le territoire Mi'kmaq et qui fait aussi partie de la Confédération Abénaki et je suis du clan de la Tortue. Je suis aussi la coprésidente pour la Commission pour les personnes autochtones. Good morning. My name is Suzy Keys. My traditional name is Little Pine Child. I'm a member of the Abenaki community, which is part of the Wabanaki Confederacy. I'd like to welcome you to the traditional territories of our cousins in Mi'kmaq, who are also part of the Confederacy. I'm Turtle Clan, which means I'm a teacher. I do a lot of teaching. If anybody's been at any of my seminars, they know I do a lot of teaching. So welcome, and I will just give you a brief overview of what the procedures for the plenary will be. Thank you. We will consider each policy resolution independently. We will start by announcing which policy we are considering. Each policy has been submitted in accordance with the policy development guidelines published in spring 2017. Okay. We will allow one authorized representative of the sponsor to speak to the resolution for 60 seconds to introduce the proposed policy. At this point, we will ask delegates if they wish to debate the resolution. We need 50 delegates to express an interest in debating by show of cards. If 50 eligible attendees indicate they wish to debate, there will be a debate. Otherwise, we will proceed immediately to a vote. If there is a debate, we will recognize speakers alternating between those in favor and those opposed. We may limit the number of speakers to 2 in favor and 2 opposed to the resolution. Those in favor must present themselves to the microphone set up in the aisle to the left-hand side of the stage. Those opposed must present to the microphone in the aisle to your right.
And when you come, test, check. And when you come to the microphone, please give us your name, your electoral district or club if you wish, but certainly your provincial affiliation or commission. Only eligible registrants will be recognized and may only speak once to any resolution. Speakers will be allowed up to 1 minute each, as Susie said, and I will strictly enforce the time limits, and we will cut you off if the time has elapsed. I would also like to discuss the procedure for voting, which is to occur alongside the election of party officers following the plenary. This is what will happen after the session is over. Eligible registered attendees will receive 2 additional ballots by the poll clerk when you go to vote, on which you'll be asked to write the number of the policy you want to see prioritized and become official party policy. So your work is not complete when you leave this room. We have to come out of this session with 15 resolutions. We have 20 to consider, and we will be in a position to allow you to pick 2 when you go and vote, and we'll announce the results when we announce the other elected official results as well. And voting will be open from 10:30 to 3:30. And as I said, the results will be announced later on in the evening before the close of convention. So to start, we'll consider policy number 1, entitled A Seniors Ministry. And I'd like to call on a representative of the sponsor to speak to the motion to adopt this resolution, and you can speak for up to 60 seconds to explain or clarify the policy. Do we have a yes? Sorry?
Which mic do you go to, for or against?
Number 2, to speak to it. Right. Speak for it at mic 2.
And that's against?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
I don't understand how we're going to reduce the number of policies from 19 to 15.
Yeah, so the question was, how do we reduce from 19 to 15? That's what I was just mentioning. You'll have a paper ballot when you go to vote for the executive, and all the resolutions will be listed there, and you'll be invited to write 2 numbers in the ballot as to the 2 that you want to prioritize that come out of today's session. And that will take us from 20 down to 15. Question mark, quickly, before we start?
Yes.
Name and...
Mark Mitchell, Vancouver Centre, and I'm sorry if you've said this already, but where can we get a list of the complete motions? Because there are some motions that compete, and we need to know if they're in there to know whether we're supporting individual motions or not.
You're going to see them coming up on the screen right away.
Yeah, but I don't know whether I want to speak against one motion if I don't know whether a second motion on the same topic is prioritized or not.
That'll be up to you to decide. We're ready to start now. So we're going to start first with microphone number 2. Sorry?
You want a full list? It would be useful.
Thank you very much. We're ready to begin. Microphone number 2, if you can introduce yourself, and we'll start the clock. Thank you very much.
Eleanor Olszewski from Edmonton, Strathcona. By 2036, 1 in 4 Canadians will be 65 years of age or older. This will profoundly affect the economy, healthcare, social services, housing, transportation, and so much more. This is not a problem or a burden, it's an opportunity. Older Canadians contribute much to society as workers, mentors, volunteers, taxpayers, and consumers. And if people can age in a positive way, Canadian society can benefit. But at the present time, aging issues are shared between a number of different departments and agencies, between different levels of government, and in a fragmented way. This is not the proper way to make policy. Policy making in silos is not the optimum way of dealing with these complicated issues.
Thank you. That's 1 minute. Thank you. Do I see 50 delegates who wish to debate the resolution presented by Alberta? Show of cards. Not seeing 50 cards, I'd like to call the vote. All those in favor of the resolution presented by Alberta, please raise your cards. Keep them up, please. Thank you very much. Cards down. All those opposed to the resolution? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Susie?
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 2, s'intitulant « Résoudre la crise des opioïdes pour le biais d'une approche de santé publique ». J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler de la motion portant sur l'adoption de cette résolution et d'expliquer ou de clarifier la politique en 1 minute ou moins.
Microphone, please. All right, go ahead, Nathan.
Check. So my name is Nathaniel Erskine-Smith. I'm a member of Parliament for Beaches East York, and I'm here to speak on behalf of our National Caucus, which sponsored this resolution. It's been endorsed by Liberal leader Bob Rae, former Liberal leader Bob Rae, Canadian Mental Health Association, medical and health experts across the country, and families who have lost loved ones. Last year, over 4,000 Canadians are estimated to have died because of the opioid crisis. The year before, almost 3,000. We need new solutions. We need to treat drug use as a health issue, not a crime. We need to expand harm reduction and treatment options, and we need to remove the criminal sanction for low-level possession to stop stigmatizing the very people we want to save. I'm proud of our government for expanding harm reduction by restoring it as a key pillar of our drug strategy, by expanding safe consumption sites and injecting $230 million in the recent budget to expand access to treatment, but we need to do more. The Portuguese model has had success. It has saved lives, and it's reclassified drug use as a health issue and puts people out of the criminal system.
Thank you, Nathan. Do I see any, do delegates wish to, oh, sorry, Susie, my apologies.
Merci. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un? Oops, sorry. Where am I?
Go ahead.
OK. J'inviterai le... Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui veut parler? Non, excusez. Merci, Mesdames et Messieurs. Je vous demande maintenant s'il y a un besoin urgent d'apporter plus de précision à cette motion. Si oui, veuillez lever votre carton de vote rouge. Si 50 participants inscrits lèvent leur carton de vote en faveur d'un débat, il y aura un débat. Veuillez lever vos cartons maintenant.
Raise your cards if you wish to have a debate. Not seeing 50 cards, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the resolution from the National Caucus? Cards up, please. Thank you. Cards down. All those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Congratulations. The next resolution is on affordable housing from the province of Alberta. Do we have someone from Alberta to speak to the resolution, please? Going once. Someone from Alberta to speak to the resolution. I'll read it out. Be it resolved, the Liberal Party of Canada urge the Government of Canada to institute a funding program to modify existing non-market housing complexes to meet current health, safety, and accessibility codes. And be it resolved that the Liberal Party of Canada urge the Government of Canada to support the principle that the total cost of public non-market housing for low-income residents of Canada should not exceed 30% of their gross annual income. Do I see 50 delegates who wish to debate this resolution by show of cards? Not seeing 50, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the resolution from the province of Alberta, please raise your cards. Keep them up, please. Cards down. All those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 4 s'intitulant Charte canadienne des droits environnementaux. J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler de la motion portant sur l'adoption de cette résolution et d'expliquer ou de clarifier la politique en 1 minute ou moins.
Mic 2, please.
Mike, tu-
Go ahead, Amy.
Merci. Amy Robichaud, incoming National Chair of the Women's Liberal Commission. I'm here to stand in support of the Canadian Environmental Bill of Rights, calling on the Liberal Party to urge the Canadian government to enact such legislation. We firmly believe that values are where we start and policy is how we make it happen. So far, this Liberal Party as a national government has enacted a national agreement on climate change with emission reduction targets, a low carbon infrastructure fund, a full 5% of marine and coastal areas have been protected, and we're investing in green infrastructure, creating more robust and inclusive environmental assessment practices with many more advancements to come. It is important that we entrench this progress in a rights-based framework, making it difficult, nigh impossible, for future governments to undo our good work. We also have to understand the gendered and intersectional impacts of environmental degradation on women.
Time. Thank you, Amy. Are
Yes.
there 50 delegates who wish? Oh, I'm sorry, Susie. My apologies.
Okay. Merci, Mesdames et Messieurs. Je vous demande maintenant s'il y a un besoin urgent d'apporter plus de précision à cette motion. Si oui, veuillez lever votre carton de vote rouge. Si 50 participants inscrits lèvent leur carton de vote en faveur d'un débat, il y en aura un.
Show of cards, please. Delegates who wish to debate this resolution, we need to see 50.
Non, je n'en vois pas 50. Donc, nous allons aller directement au vote. Que toutes les personnes qui sont pour l'adoption de la résolution numéro 4, Charte canadienne des droits environnementaux, levez leur carton de vote rouge.
Keep your cards up, please. Thank you.
OK. Et maintenant, que toutes les personnes qui sont contre lèvent leur carton de vote.
Motion carried. Thank you. Next resolution is from the province of Alberta. Do we have someone from Alberta to speak to the resolution on Canadian oil and gas independence? Going once from Alberta? Instead of me reading the resolution, I'm going to leave it up there for a second. You can all take a look at it. Are there 50 delegates that wish to debate the resolution from Alberta? Not seeing 50 cards, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the resolution from Alberta on Canadian oil and gas independence, please raise your cards. Please keep them up. Please keep your cards up. Looking for a signal from our counters that we're okay. Good. Cards down. Those opposed? Keep your cards up, please. Please keep your cards up. And I'll ask our counter to inform me of the result when they have it. Julie? Thanks for your patience. Can we take the cards down? Thank you. Just for, was it for? Just waiting for the results. Want to vote again? Oh, thank you. We have the yeses, but we do need to do the noes again. My apologies. So can I ask again for those opposed to the resolution, please raise your cards. Thank you. Just keep your cards up. James, can we put the cards down? Cards down, thank you. Thank you. The motion carries. Thank you.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 6, s'intitulant « Décriminalisation du travail consensuel du sexe et du commerce du sexe ». J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler de la motion portant sur l'adoption de cette résolution et d'expliquer ou de clarifier la politique en 1 minute ou moins. Est-ce qu'il y a un représentant des jeunes libéraux? Okay, they're ready to go.
Go ahead.
Mira Mad, President of the Young Liberals of Canada. When Bill C-36 passed in 2014, the LPC actively opposed and voted against it. We did so because we recognized that C-36 went against the human rights of sex workers, their liberty, security, but also because our party recognizes that criminal law is not an adequate response to the social problems we're concerned with for sex workers. This resolution is a remedy to the current sex work laws which favor law and order over justice and human rights. It is clear that the current laws do little to protect sex workers, especially those that are most over-policed, isolated by law enforcement, Indigenous, migrant, and racialized. Criminalizing sex work does not protect sex workers, but rather isolates them, makes them more vulnerable, promotes over-policing, and ensures that they will not report instances where they experience harm.
Thank you.
Merci. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous demande maintenant s'il y a un besoin urgent d'apporter plus de précision à cette motion. Si oui, veuillez lever votre carton de vote rouge. Si 50 participants inscrits lèvent leur carton de vote en faveur d'un débat, il y en aura un. So, please raise your cards if you wish to debate this policy resolution. OK, je ne vois pas 50 cartons, donc nous allons aller directement au vote. Tous qui sont en faveur de cette résolution, levez vos cartons, s'il vous plaît.
Don't need to count. Pull them down now and ask for opposed.
OK. Est-ce que... Merci. Tous qui sont opposés, levez votre carton, s'il vous plaît. OK.
Motion carried.
Motion carried.
Congratulations.
Félicitations.
The next resolution is Employee Pension Protection Strategy. Do we have a delegate from Ontario to introduce the resolution? Microphone 2, please.
Mike Powell, Whitby, Ontario. All those who are willing to give up 40% of their income forever from today, stand up. How about 20%? Obviously, no retirees from Nortel or Sears in the room, and you will vote for proposition number 7. The financial community experts will say that if you do this, it will cause chaos in the lending industry in Canada. That same group of experts say that there's no need to fully fund pensions because insolvency happens so rarely, it's not an issue. It cannot be inconsequential and catastrophic at the same time. We need to look behind the curtain and deal with this issue now.
Thank you. Do I have 50 delegates who wish to debate this resolution from Ontario? Not seeing 50 cards, I'll go straight to the vote. All those in favor of this resolution, please raise your cards. Thank you. Keep your cards up. Cards down. Thank you. Those opposed? Motion passed. Congratulations, Ontario. Great work.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 8, s'intitulant « Défiscalisation des produits hygiéniques féminins ». J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler de la motion portant sur l'adoption de cette résolution et d'expliquer ou de clarifier la politique en 1 minute ou moins. Les jeunes libéraux, s'il vous plaît, si vous avez un représentant.
Microphone 2, please. Go ahead.
Nimra Naman, current YLC rep for the current women's rep for the YLC. Luxury taxation of necessary menstrual products is a form of gender-based discrimination. These products are essential to a person's well-being and dignity during their menstrual cycles. This can make the difference between an infection and functionality for day-to-day activities. Over 50% of our population is subject to paying a tariff on these essential products. It can make a difference to health and safety. These items are not a luxury, nor is ensuring a safe menstrual cycle. The majority of these products that are in Canadian drugstores are subject to this tariff. We ask fellow Liberals to help us end this taxation. Thank you.
Merci. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous demande maintenant s'il y a un besoin urgent d'apporter plus de précision à cette motion. Si oui, veuillez lever votre carton de vote rouge. Si 50 participants inscrits lèvent leur carton de vote en faveur d'un débat, il y en aura un. If you wish to debate, please raise your cards. OK, je ne vois pas 50 cartes levées, donc nous allons aller directement au vote. Tous en faveur de cette résolution? Merci.
Cards down.
Tous qui sont opposés, levez vos cartons.
Motion's carried. Congratulations, Young Liberals. The next resolution is endorsing the United Nations Treaty to ban nuclear weapons from the Women's Commission. Do we have a representative from the Women's Commission to speak to the resolution? Microphone 2.
Thank you. My name is Judith Berlin. I live in the riding of Notre-Dame-de-Gas, Westmount in Montreal. Since 1997, nuclear weapons have been the only weapons of mass destruction not banned by international agreement. Last year, the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons was negotiated and agreed on by the United Nations General Assembly. Once 50 countries have signed and ratified the treaty, it will put nuclear weapons on the same legal footing as biological and chemical weapons, stigmatizing and delegitimizing their possession and use. Resolution number 9, endorsing the United Nations Treaty to ban nuclear weapons, calls on Canada to be counted among the countries taking this.
Thank you. Are there 50 delegates who wish to debate this resolution? Not seeing 50 cards, we'll go straight to the motion. All those in favor of this resolution, please raise your cards. Thank you. Please keep them up. Cards down. All those opposed to the resolution, please raise your cards. Motion's carried. Congratulations.
I'm missing the page for 10.
I'll go ahead quickly. The next resolution is implementation of a guaranteed minimum income model from the province of Quebec. Do we have a delegate from Quebec to speak to the resolution at microphone 2?
Bonjour, David Marshall, président de l'Association d'Outremont, et aujourd'hui j'ai le plaisir de vous présenter la résolution sur le revenu minimum. Pourquoi un revenu minimum? Pour réduire la pauvreté, la disparité des revenus et l'incohérence de certains programmes gouvernementaux. Pour augmenter l'innovation, la croissance économique et l'égalité des chances. D'abord et avant tout, c'est un plan pour croître la classe moyenne en partenariat avec les provinces telles que l'Ontario et l'île du Prince-Édouard, qui ont tous les deux compris l'énorme potentiel du revenu minimum garanti. Nous demandons donc au gouvernement de prendre connaissance des projets pilotes passés et en cours, ainsi que des études effectuées par des spécialistes, de travailler avec les provinces pour développer un modèle de revenu minimum garanti, équitable, durable et universel au bénéfice de tous les Canadiens, et informer et consulter la population sur la mise en œuvre. Please support Resolution number 11 on guaranteed minimum income, a compelling policy alternative to grow the middle class, an ambitious plan once again to demonstrate our social and economic leadership.
Thank you. Do we have 50 delegates who wish to debate the resolution from Quebec? Not seeing 50 cards, we'll go straight to the question. All those in favor of implementation of a guaranteed minimum income model, please raise your cards. Just keep your cards up. Cards down, thank you. All those opposed to the resolution? Motion's carried. Congratulations, Quebec.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 12, s'intitulant « Instauration d'un régime d'accès universel aux médicaments nécessaires ». J'inviterai le parrain de parler à la motion. C'est le caucus de la Colombie-Britannique. Est-ce qu'il y a un délégué? Oui? Allez-y.
Good morning, John Oliver from Oakville, and it's an honor to move the adoption of resolution number 12 on national pharmacare. For me, and I hope for all of you, the issue is simple. No Canadian should ever be denied access to a necessary prescription medicine because they can't afford it. Yet for 1 in 5 Canadians, this is happening today. And in our current patchwork system, every year we overspend by more than $4 billion because the private insurance model doesn't bulk buy drugs. The solution, the Canada Health Act, needs to be amended to add prescription medicine to the definition of covered services, and the principles of the Canada Health Act will ensure universal, comprehensive coverage under a single-payer system. Since the Lester Pearson government in 1966 introduced the Medical Care Act, pharmacy has been unaddressed. 50 years later, it's still unfinished business. So friends, this is our generation's time to fix the inequity and complete the job with courage and commitment. This is liberal business. Please vote for Resolution 12.
Merci beaucoup. Mesdames et messieurs, s'il y a un besoin urgent de débat, s'il vous plaît, levez votre carte rouge. S'il y a 50 délégués, nous allons... Non, je ne vois pas 54, donc nous allons directement au vote. Tous en faveur de cette résolution, levez vos cartes, s'il vous plaît.
Please keep your cards up. Cards down.
Tous qui sont opposés, levez vos cartes rouges, s'il vous plaît.
Motion's carried. Thank you. Congratulations to the National Caucus, the BC, LPC BC, and LPC Ontario who co-sponsored that resolution. Thank you. Go ahead, Susie.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 13, inclusion des services de santé mentale dans le régime public d'assurance maladie et la loi canadienne sur la santé. Celle-là, c'est... Oui, est-ce qu'il y a un représentant de la Nouvelle-Écosse pour présenter, s'il vous plaît?
Do we have a delegate from
Oui,
Yes,
ici.
we do. Microphone 2, please.
Thank you. Today we have an opportunity to make a difference for 1 in 5 Canadians who suffer from mental illness by supporting Resolution 13.
Excuse me, can we stop for a second and reset the clock? I need you to introduce your name and where you're from. Thank you. Go ahead.
Sorry. Fred French, Halifax West, Nova Scotia. Today we have an opportunity to make a difference for 1 in 5 Canadians who suffer from mental illness by supporting Resolution 13. Many people with mental illness cannot access the full range of services due to a lack of money. Mental health has many impacts. Just one is the youth suicide rate is now at 24%. Yet treatment can make a difference and at the same time save money. $6,300 per person less for treatment versus non-treatment. Please support the resolution to include mental health services in the Canadian Health Act and ensure that people have barrier-free access to those services. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Mesdames et messieurs, s'il y a un besoin urgent de débat, s'il vous plaît, levez vos cartes rouges. Si on voit 50 délégués, on va avoir un débat. Non, il n'y a pas 50 cartes, donc nous allons aller directement au vote. Tous en faveur, levez vos cartes rouges, s'il vous plaît.
Keep your cards up, please. Cards down. Thank you.
Tous qui sont opposés, levez vos cartes, s'il vous plaît.
Motion is carried. Congratulations, Nova Scotia. The next resolution is infrastructure and connecting Canadians via fixed link from the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Do we have a delegate from Newfoundland and Labrador to speak to the resolution on microphone 2?
Hello and good morning. My name is Stacey Piercy. I'm Chair of National Women's Commission and Provincial Board Executive Member for the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Currently, the island of Newfoundland, as you know, is surrounded by water. Our economy is dependent on shipping and air transportation. Weather permitting, this is our Achilles heel. We currently need a bridge to span the Gulf. We need help, and it's vital. I implore everybody here to vote for this so we actually are connected and joined to Canada, and our economy can thrive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stacey. Do you see 50 delegates who wish to debate the resolution from Newfoundland and Labrador? Not seeing 50 cards, we'll go straight to the vote. Delegates who wish to support infrastructure and connecting Canadians via fixed link, please raise your cards. Keep your cards up, please. Thank you. Cards down. Those opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Congratulations, Newfoundland and Labrador. Great work, Stacey.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 18, s'intitulant « Politique nationale tri-océanique pour la sécurité, la protection de l'environnement et le développement ». J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler de la motion portant sur l'adoption de cette résolution et d'expliquer ou de clarifier la politique.
Good morning, Hugh Williamson from Halifax Federal Riding Association. Canada's Three Oceans National Policy for Security, Environmental Protection and Development. We've got the longest coastline in the world. We have one of the largest ocean territories. our last major ocean policy was 2002, and since that time there have been substantial changes in the ocean environment, Arctic melting, marine pollution, tanker accidents and things like that. So we're asking the federal government to review this in terms of producing a 21st century policy that deals with all three oceans. We need strong federal government direction on this. The failure of the last policy was while it gave Department of Fisheries and Oceans a leadership role, there was no strong followership, and other government departments did not give it the priority. And so we're requesting input from federal, provincial, territorial governments, First Nations, and coastal communities, and it should include three important components: a comprehensive ocean policy to deal with environmental protection, socioeconomic development, scientific research. We have to reestablish our oceanographic research.
Thank you very much. Do I have 50 delegates? Oh, I'm sorry, Susie.
No
My
problem.
apologies.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce qu'il y a est-ce qu'il y a des délégués qui veulent avoir un débat? Si oui, levez vos cartes rouges, s'il vous plaît. OK, je ne vois pas 50 cartes levées, donc nous allons directement au vote. Tous les gens qui sont en faveur, s'il vous plaît, levez vos cartons.
Cards up, please. Thank you. Cards down.
Tous qui sont opposés, levez vos cartons, s'il vous plaît.
Motion carried. Thank you. Congratulations, Nova
Félicitations.
Scotia. The next resolution is protecting freshwater resources, export and marketing from the province of Quebec. Do we have a delegate from Quebec to speak to the resolution at microphone number 2?
Oui, bonjour. Brigitte Lagacé, Gatineau et Sylvie Quentin, Longueuil, Saint-Hubert. L'eau, c'est une ressource vitale pour tous. On a l'impression qu'on a beaucoup d'eau ici au Canada, mais l'approvisionnement, par exemple, d'eau n'est pas illimité. On doit la protéger ici au Canada. Présentement, il n'y a aucune loi, il n'y a aucun règlement, il n'y a aucun programme fédéral qui porte sur la réglementation de l'exportation et la commercialisation de l'eau douce. Il y a plusieurs pressions, surtout sur la scène mondiale présentement. Il y a beaucoup de pays qui ont des pénuries d'eau, qui manquent d'eau, et ça va augmenter dans les prochaines années. L'ONU a mis de l'avant des programmes ou des stratégies au niveau mondial. Puis ici, on a juste à regarder dans la région des Grands Lacs, on risque d'avoir des problèmes, surtout avec le boom industriel des États-Unis. Ce qu'on demande, c'est que l'eau douce soit reconnue comme un bien patrimonial, ça veut dire un bien commun, et non comme un bien commercial. De cette façon, on pourrait s'opposer à toute exportation massive de notre eau.
Thank you very much. Do we have 50 delegates who wish to debate this resolution? Not seeing 50 cards, we'll go straight to the vote. All those in favor of the resolution, please raise your cards and keep them up. Thank you. Cards down. All those opposed? Motion is carried. Congratulations, Quebec.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 22, s'intitulant « Redevenir un chef de file mondial en matière de soins de santé viables au Canada ». J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler. C'est une motion qui a été présentée par la Colombie-Britannique. Est-ce qu'il y a un représentant? Oui. Allez-y, merci.
Hilary Williamson, Pontiac, Quebec, and also involved in the SLC National Working Group on Healthcare. Canadians care about healthcare. Taxpayer-funded commissions and reports have been raising alarms for more than 2 decades now. In particular, the 2015 Naylor report talked about healthcare in crisis and told us that without action, Canadian healthcare is headed for a continued slow decline. Canadians care about the millions who do not have access to primary care. They care about wait times that endanger health. They care about costly inefficiencies in healthcare. Federal leadership is essential for systemic healthcare reform. So please vote for resolution number 22, reclaiming and sustaining Canadian healthcare. And note that this was co-sponsored by the SLC and by LPC BC. Merci beaucoup. Bonjour.
Merci. Mesdames et messieurs, s'il y a un besoin urgent pour des clarifications, un débat, s'il vous plaît, levez vos cartes rouges. OK, je ne vois pas 50 cartes, donc nous allons aller directement au vote. Tous en faveur, levez vos cartes, s'il vous plaît.
Cards down, thank you.
Tous qui sont opposés, levez vos cartes, s'il vous plaît.
Motion is carried. Congratulations, Seniors Liberal Commission and LPCBC. Great work. Susie, I'll do this one because you're in a conflict of interest on this one. The next one is remote telecommunication infrastructure development for northern remote rural Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities from the Indigenous Peoples Commission. Do we have a delegate who from the IPC who wishes to speak to this resolution? At microphone number 2, please.
Tanse, Connor Desjardins, Indigenous Peoples Commission, Vancouver, Granville. Access to high-speed internet is not a luxury. It is essentially part of Canada's economic and social future. Our Prime Minister said, our greatest resource are our people. The North is a great source of fresh perspectives and innovative thinking. I want to share a story about one of our representatives. His name is Nathan Gray. He's from Nunavut. He's the lone rep. He currently spends $500 a month for 50 gig of high-speed 4G access. We need to fix that. And I hope people here would understand that this is a Liberal issue about fairness and connecting the North. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great work. Do we have 50 delegates who wish to debate the resolution from the Indigenous Peoples Commission? Not seeing 50 cards, I'll go straight to the vote. All those in favor of Resolution 24? Keep your cards up, please. Thank you. Cards down. All those opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations, Susie and the IPC. Great work.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la politique numéro 26, intitulée « Justice réparatrice ». J'inviterai le représentant du parrain à parler de la motion. C'est une motion qui a été présentée par le Saskatchewan. Est-ce qu'il y a un représentant? Oui? Allez-y, merci.
Otto Dreger from Regina, Saskatchewan. Restorative justice is a movement that started in Saskatchewan, in Canada. It has received momentum across the country and also internationally. It is based on conflict resolution and addressing offenders on a positive basis rather than a punishment basis. It is based on 4 major streams: the Aboriginal community's contribution in terms of circles, resolution, the faith community's involvement in terms of reconciliation, the many experiments that have occurred in terms of rehabilitation in the systems across the country, and fourthly, research indicates that positive approaches to conflict resolution and offending resolution is much more effective than punishment. I suggest everybody support.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce qu'il y a 50 délégués qui veulent avoir un débat sur cette police? Non, je ne vois pas 50 cartes, donc nous allons aller directement au vote. Tous les gens en faveur de la résolution, levez vos cartes, s'il vous plaît.
Cards up, please. Thank you. Cards down.
Ceux qui sont opposés, levez vos cartes, s'il vous plaît.
Motion is carried. Congratulations, Saskatchewan. The next resolution comes from British Columbia. It's tax recovery from offshore havens. Do we have a delegate from British Columbia ready to speak to Resolution 28? Microphone 2, please. Thank you.
Margarita Berrios. I'm here to endorse the tax recovery from offshore tax havens resolution. This resolution brings to your attention the need for us to urge our government to recover the $10 to $15 billion a year estimated to be unpaid taxes from corporations and individuals due to tax havens. Introducing amendments to our corporate tax laws, closing existing loopholes, and updating our regulatory systems will, in a short time, increase our revenue to allow our government to finance all of the resolutions that have been presented here today, plus. It will also restore confidence on our taxation system's fairness. Once we have made progress nationally, we can become leaders.
Time. Thank you, Margarita. Do we have 50 delegates who wish to debate this resolution? Not seeing 50, I'll go straight to the vote. All those in favor of Resolution 28 from British Columbia, please raise your cards. Keep your cards up, please. Cards down, thank you. Those opposed to the resolution? Motion carried. Congratulations, British Columbia. Margarita, great work.
Nous allons maintenant examiner la police numéro 29, intitulée « Nécessité de créer des emplois stables de qualité essentielle au renforcement de la classe moyenne ». C'est une résolution qui a été présentée par les libéraux aînés. Est-ce qu'il y a un représentant? Oui, merci. Allez-y.
From Halifax. And as senior Liberals, we care about jobs for our children, their grandchildren, and their classmates. We focus on the innovation value chain that goes from basic research to wealth creation. Canada's total investment in research and development, including government, business, and academic sectors, needs to increase as a percentage of its economic productivity, or GDP. As well, we must support the commercial application of this R&D to find mechanisms to help small companies attract financing and investment, to take their products and services to world markets, to help them grow, and to employ highly qualified people in jobs. Quality jobs are ones that have...
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce qu'il y a 50 délégués qui veulent avoir plus de précision et un débat sur cette résolution? Non, je ne vois pas 50 cartes. Donc, nous allons aller directement au vote. Tous ceux qui sont en faveur de la résolution 29, s'il vous plaît, levez vos cartes rouges.
Keep your cards up, please. Cards down.
Tous qui sont opposés, s'il vous plaît, levez vos cartes.
Motion is carried. Congratulations to the Seniors Liberals Commission. So we have 20 resolutions approved. We have to prioritize 15 of these ideas, and they will remain Liberal Party policy for 8 years, and they'll obviously be prioritized for our platform committee as well. I will remind everyone now of the procedures for voting, which is to occur alongside the election of party officers. Eligible registered attendees will receive 2 additional ballots by the poll clerks when you go vote, on which you'll be asked to write the number of the policy you want to see prioritized and become official policy of our party. Voting is located where registration was set up at the beginning of the convention, two floors down from the plenary hall, and it'll be open from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The results will be announced later on this evening before the close of the convention. Susie, I'd really like to thank you for co-chairing this session with me and for all your great work. And I want to thank all of the registered Liberals from across Canada that have participated in this process. This session is closed. Thank you very much.